As I was trying to write this speech today, I was called away to do some photographs, so I'm going to be making it up as I go along. I'll try not to be funnier than the last guy. But my FAST approach, and what I want to tell you about is, FAST is about increasing our focus, accountability, simplicity and transparency, and how we can use that to achieve truly astounding results. And what I'm going to talk to you today about is how I've used FAST to build a Twitter following, and I did it in 12 months, that took me from basically unknown to the #1 leadership expert on Twitter. By using that content, that influence, and that following, that got me into Inc. magazine as the top 100 great leadership experts. So what I'm going to talk to you today about is how I've used focus, and we need to be focused on engagement. We don't need to be focused on building a following, because if you have 1 million followers and no engagement, that's the same as no followers. Accountability, you need to know what you can do, what you have to do, what you can automate and outsource. Simplicity, we need a repeatable process that we can explain to people so that they can go and do it, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And then the last part of FAST is transparency, which is about having visibility into our performance and our progress. And with Twitter, there are tons of tools that you can use: Twitterland, Unfollowers, Community, or Twitter Analytics, to understand how we're performing. So now we're going to go back to simplicity, the how you build an insatiable tribe. And there are really 5 components to it. Okay, the first component is about building a following. Second component is about content. Content is king. Content is key. The next is hashtags. And then it's about tweeting. And then it's engagement. So I'm going to start by telling you how you can build a following on Twitter. One of the challenges of doing that is I have this huge following, but I have no content now. And if you have no content, there's no engagement, and you don't really have any following. You used to have some people who were sat waiting for you. So now what you need to do is you need to start providing content, and the content has to be great content. And where are you going to get great content from? Anybody heard of something called Google? Yeah, Google's full of great content. The #1 thing I found that people love to see is quotes. So I know what you're thinking, but that's not your material, Gordon. Doesn't matter. I tweet it, it's mine. People recognize it as my content. I can tweet to be or not to be, and I can put William Shakespeare, and people write back to me going, I love your words. Which is really good. And I love tweeting stuff from Shakespeare because it kind of, I didn't do very well in English, so I'm kind of, I use that to offset my poor performance. And when you tweet 100 times a day, that sounds a lot, but it's only 4 to 5 times an hour, once every 15 minutes. Yeah, I know what you're saying, I know what you're thinking, but you have to bear in mind, every second there's 6,000 tweets. My tweet's top of the pile, it's bottom of the pile. Top of the pile, bottom of the pile. Only 1% of my following see my tweets, which I'd like it to be higher, but I'm also happy that it's 1% because it allows me to retweet the same stuff every single week or every single month because people don't see it. And let me tell you, if somebody comes back to me after 2 months and says, just a second, I've read all of your tweets and you've repeated them, that's a stalker. That's a stalker. And get them off your list. And when you follow this approach, and not only have I done it for myself, I've also done it for colleagues and clients. It took me 9 months to build a following of 80,000. And that's how I got on to be a #1 leadership expert to follow on Twitter. And that's based on retweets and engagement. And that got me noticed for all the content that I produced and got me into Inc. magazine as top 100 leadership expert. And it took my blog, because I was now using this network to share my content, took my blog to the #4 most shared blog. So, If you follow my fast approach, you will build a following fast. Thank you.